Good Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending on when you're picking this up. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek with the latest edition of our video weather blog, Weather Overtime. It's been quite an active week with some severe weather and very warm temperatures starting things off, closer to normal as we go throughout the rest of the period into the weekend, and some chances of showers this weekend. And temperatures will again be decently close to normal, back into the lower to mid 50s or so, which is again not doing too bad for this time of the year, but just a little bit above normal. Not as cold as it was about a week or two ago. 2 weeks ago, we were heading into that Arctic blast and not seeing any sign of that, but some cooler weather could be heading our way by this time next week. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Questions, concerns, comments, critiques, if you absolutely must, join me at aonek@wdef.com or find me at wdef.com/weather for a complete update of what the forecast is doing. Also, please send in your weather pictures. We're getting ready to start a new week, so we need more pictures out there. Send them to pictures@wdef.com or facebook.com/WDEF News 12. Didn't do too bad on the temperatures today, right about normal, a little bit above normal, which is about where we'll be tomorrow, and nowhere close to our record high temperature, which hasn't been broken since 1888, 4 years after we tied a record low of -1 back in 1884. No rainfall for today, and we're still ahead by a fraction of an inch for the entire year and the month so far to date, so not doing too bad there. For golfers heading out into the great wide green space tomorrow, better chances in the morning and early afternoon, but then afternoon we'll see the chances of developing showers. And again, those high temperatures out there might require at least a windbreaker, maybe a light coat if you're going to be heading out for the rest of the day. Chances of rain will be developing and heading our way, draped over the area for Sunday, but better chances Saturday will be in the afternoon and evening, and then across the day for most of Sunday, clearing in the afternoon, and then back to sunshine on Monday. Your 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit. Our latest storm system that was pummeling the West Coast a couple of days ago had to go across the Rockies, and that does a good job of dropping its energy potential and kind of scraping through a narrower portion of the atmosphere. Once these storm systems swing out into the plain states, they get a lot more room to maneuver and a lot more potential to pick up a lot more energy, and that's what we're seeing for right now. But the energy potential as this swings on up to the north and to the east will be just to draw up some moisture from off the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll be about it. We're not seeing anything in the signs of widespread thunderstorms, maybe a rumble of thunder, and that should be about it. But we will see the chances of rainfall coming through. Early Saturday morning, temperatures chilly, not in the frosty territory, back in the mid to upper 30s, lower to mid 50s as we head throughout the area of Saturday, and those speckles of rainfall start to show up Saturday afternoon, off and on as we get into around midnight on Sunday. And it looks like Sunday morning heading to church or Sunday school might be a bit on the sloppy side out there, chilly with temperatures in the 40s and lower 50s, and then the rain chances head out of the picture as we head towards Sunday night as drier air starts to sweep its way on through. Now, over the next several days, temperatures will remain quite mild, it looks like, going into about the end of next week. But toward the end of next week, a new storm system, and what looks to be a lot more energetic one, crosses the country. And as that area of low pressure, those swirls of energy you see over here on the right-hand side of your screen cross the area, it's a good possibility we're going to be seeing a pretty good dip in the temperatures coming up as we see some numbers going back into at least the 20s and 30s heading toward the end of next weekend and next week. How likely is this to pan out? Still got a ways to go on that, so we'll see how that happens. Chances of rain into the weekend, again, just a little bit above normal. Worse on the west coast as that next storm system slams on through. The next storm system after that begins to move on through. It'll be weakened by about Tuesday, so we may see the potential of the possibility of some cloud cover. Computer models yesterday were throwing a chance of rainfall into the River Valley and back toward Middle Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Not seeing that at this time, so it looks like Tuesday hopefully will stay dry. Then as we get into around the end of the week, that's where we start to see our new area of low pressure wrapping up around the Great Lakes, those big areas of swirling air drawing some moisture in from off around the Great Lakes. and also drawing down that colder air. So first of all, we'll start to see the potential of some more moisture coming up. And again, that is going to be Friday the 13th, how apropos that weather will be moving in at that point in time. But then as colder air passes, we may see some of that colder air mix in with that moisture, potentially causing some maybe mixture of rain with snow, and that in the higher elevations. I'm thinking for right now, not going to be seeing too much in the way of problems throughout the entire News 12 viewing area. Again, mainly back to the east of us in the Carolinas, extreme eastern areas of Tennessee, but the higher elevations looks like they will be getting the worst of the worst if we get anything. Remember that this is still several days out, and saying that we're going to get anything in the way of potential accumulations now, that's more wish casting than forecasting, so we'll wait and see what happens. Chances of rain, we took them out of the forecast for Tuesday, maybe a drizzle or two, but that's about it. Chances of showers for this weekend upcoming, and then by next weekend to see the better potential of rain beginning Thursday, continuing through Friday, and there's that drop-off in temperatures we're looking for. How much farther we go beyond that, that's where it gets interesting, because we could be looking at temperatures in the 40s by next Saturday, just off the side of this forecast a little bit farther into the future. But that looks like we definitely need to watch that very carefully in the next several days. So stay tuned to News 12 for updates on that. Don't forget that we are moving into the prime season for severe weather around here. So it's a good idea to be ready before that happens. If you've never attended a Skywarn spotting possibility meeting out there, this is a good opportunity to do so. The National Weather Service in Morristown, one of the NWS offices that cover the News 12 viewing area, they will be holding a Skywarn volunteer spotter training. Now, again, that volunteer is very important because you don't get paid for this, but that's okay, because for kids out there who are in middle school and high school, this looks awfully good on a resume that gives you the opportunity to say, I wanted to help my community. This will be held at Memorial Hospital in the community rooms on DeSales Avenue in Chattanooga. That'll be Friday, February 10th at 6 p.m. It's totally free. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars pay for this. It is free for cost, but if you want to attend, seating is limited, so register for your seat at weather.gov/MRX. And again, that'll be held in just about a month's time. Now is the time to get ready for severe weather. This teaches you a lot more about what to look for, what to report back to the National Weather Service, and more importantly, how to be safe, recognizing what goes on radar and making sure that you don't put yourself in any danger out there. Also, again, the time to get ready for severe weather is when the weather is absolutely quiet and, may I say, boring, because then you can sit down and program your National Weather Service radio, and that could save your life. This is a life-saving piece of equipment. You can program which counties you want to have alerted for, including Hamilton County for Chattanooga. If you don't want to pick up avalanche warnings for Colorado or blizzard warnings for Maine, you don't have to have that, but you do have to program in the codes, and it's easier than you think. We can help you do that. Go to wdef.com/weather, and we'll have more on that throughout the rest of the next several weeks and months. And stay tuned to my social media pages. We'll be announcing all of the stuff that you just saw on there over and over as we go throughout the next couple of days and weeks to make certain you stay prepared for this. Again, quiet weather like we're seeing tonight, Friday night, best opportunity to sit down with that weather radio, program in the counties you want, the warnings you want, and that way we can all stay safer. That thing will wake you up in the middle of the night in case there's a warning issued, but it won't work unless you program it, and it's easy to program. So again, good opportunity to News 12 to help you out with that. We'll watch the systems over the weekend. We'll have complete updates on the forecast again on our website, WDEF.com, and of course we'll have updates with Chip Chapman bright and early on Monday morning, getting you back to work and or school. Sorry about that, kids. It's time to head back to the classrooms. We'll be looking for more potential, again, maybe heavy weather by next week. That's definitely something we want to pay attention to, so keep it tuned to News 12 for the latest. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. You have been watching the latest edition of News 12's Weather Overtime. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. We'll keep you advised.